idore u Rwanda ni rwiza Rwanda dore u Rwanda ni rwiza rwagasaba we dore u Rwanda dore u Rwanda ni rwiza Rwanda dore u Rwanda ni rwiza rwagasaba we dore u Rwanda yakwata u Rwanda sugukabya w'Afurika yo Rwanda uteye neza kandi udatse ubwiza ukayicareza dote z'amahanga rero dore u Rwanda dore u Rwanda ni rwiza Rwanda we ni rwiza rwagasabo we dore u Rwanda dore u Rwanda ni rwiza Rwanda gasabo we dore u Rwanda yemwe nshuti dutaramanye izumurinde dutaramane dushoze ingeri joro turikeshere dore u Rwanda dore u Rwanda ni rwiza Rwanda dore u Rwanda ni rwiza rwagasabo we dore u Rwanda dore u Rwanda ni rwiza Rwanda dore u Rwanda ni rwiza rwagasabo we dore u Rwanda yakurata u Rwanda sugukabya niwo mutima w'Afurika yose Rwanda uteye neza kandi utatse ubwiza ukabikireza duteze amahanga yose dore u Rwanda dore u Rwanda ni rwiza dore u Rwanda ni rwiza Rwanda ni rwiza rwagasabo we dore u Rwanda zazure u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukuri kw'Imana we uragenda yengu zazure u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukuri kw'Imana we uragenda Rwanda turagukunda nawe uzadukunde uzazure u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukuri kw'Imana we uragenda Rwanda ngo byiduhetse gahoza ingobyi mugongo uzazure u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukuri kw'Imana we rero Rwanda ngo byiduhetse gahoza ingobyi mugongo uzazure u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukuri kw'Imana we aho rero denisha ririhe ni umwami yahaye suraba we u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukuri kw'Imana we nturinde guhoga n'umuhogori uzazure u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukuri kw'Imana we aho rero Rwanda ngo byiduhetse gahoza ingobyi mugongo uzazure u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukuri kw'Imana we aho rero Rwanda ngo byiduhetse reka tukuririmbe uzazure u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukuri kw'Imana we aho rero indangamirwa z'u Rwanda turatarambana nawe uzazure u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda aho rero Rwanda ngo byiduhetse gahoza ingobyi mugongo u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda nukuri kw'Imana we
Chaniro byaso yewe rwema we
bacurira ngacunda yewe rwema we iye ziracanira nkuto yewe rwema we iye mundeke mvugizi wacu yewe rwema we iye harimo bihogo nziza yewe rwema we iye niyo yabasha bane yewe rwema we
amashyi menshi ku ndangamirwa. You are to Indangamirwa traditional dance from Rwanda. Can you please put your hands together for Indangamirwa traditional dance? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. As we are proceeding, now it's the time for the welcome remark from the Rwanda Network of People Living with HIV, who is also going to introduce several stakeholders here present. Thank you very much. Dr. Dio.
Thank you, Jean Berekmas. It's a great pleasure. Allow me, first of all, I call my chairperson, Madame Muneza. Please come forward for your recognition. Our chairperson. Chairperson. She is my boss. Round of applause. She's my boss, and I'm glad to recognize her presence and her support always. Just say hi to the...
Muraho neza. Arakoze cyane. Executive wa NLP Police. Amazina yanjye nitwa Muneza Sylvie, nkaba mpagarariye urugaga nyarwanda rw'abafite virusi itera sida. Ndashimira cyane ubwitabire mwagize aha ngaha, mbashimira uburyo mugiye gutanga ibiganiro aha ngaha, ndetse n'ibyifuzo n'ibitekerezo byanyu turabikeneye. By'umwihariko shimira guverinoma y'u Rwanda yo yagize aho yatuvanye nk'abantu bafite virusi itera sida, dukurikije aho twavuye n'aho tugeze. Mu Rwanda hano abantu bafite virusi itera sida imiti tuyibonera ubuntu. Imiti tuyibonera ubuntu. Turashimira guverinoma y'u Rwanda yo yatuvanye ahantu twari twaraheze mu buriri tukatugeze aha ngaha, tukavuga turi kumwe n'abandi tugaragaza neza. Muri kiriya gihe cya kera abantu bapfaga bicwa na sida bari benshi, ndetse n'abavukanaga virusi itera sida bari benshi, ariko hari gahunda ya PMTCT yaje dushimira First Lady yatugejejeho, ndetse afatanyije n'abafatanyabikorwa muri hano. Turabashimira, ntabwo ndi butinde, gusa turabasaba kugira ngo muze kurikirana ibiganiro byiza. Murakoze cyane kandi turabakora igihugu cyacu. Murakoze.
Thank you very much. Hello? I can't hear my voice, and I need to speak to myself first, isn't it? Can I change the mic? Do you hear me? Ah, great. First of all, I need to recognize the partners in the room for this gathering and this great evening for PLHIV communities. It's about we. It's about we. Not everyone, but we. Allow me to recognize Professor Sharon Lewin, if she's... okay. You will deliver our recognition to her. Okay. The team from Sister Love, please stand up and say hi to us. Representative from the University of Pittsburgh. San Francisco Research Communities. That's a great foundation that is always backing our life better. African Alliance Organization, MWCCS, Combined Cohort Study and Advancing HIV Science with our communities. He's now 3 in 1. Positive People Network, Supercharger. He's called Moses Supercharger, the advocate. He's the fighter who is changing the narrative around. GNP Plus. GNP Plus. We have GIZ. GIZ. WHO. Members of member organization for LLP, please stand up, all of you, if you are in. Yes, government representative, they are on the way coming, but we recognize that we are a member of government as well. Clap for ourselves. Dear colleagues, guests, and friends, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. You see, that's the voice of hope. It's a great honor and really pleasure to welcome you to this powerful gathering conversation that cultivates change, anchored in the spirit of being stronger together. This evening, we come together not just as stakeholders, but as co-creator of the future where health, justice, equity, and dignity are standard for all, especially for community most affected by HIV. We are also really, as a network of people living with HIV, with our civil society colleagues, we are honored to gather here alongside with our partners, alongside with the stakeholders, with the doers, where things are being done. This is the right science that is delivering the message, delivering from the data, but into real life. Around me, this gathering, which is so powerful, we are not alone and we are never powerless. Which means together we are strong. Alone you might be powerless, but as we are so powerful. When we listen to each other, when we build across border, sectors and identities, we become stronger together. Let's make this more than a meeting. Let's make it a moment of transformation. Otherwise, allow me to welcome you all once again. Thank you and feel at home here in Rwanda for these remaining 5 days. Thank you, all of you. Happy hour.
Hi. Hello again, everybody. My name is Ebony Gordon. Sharon Lewin has not arrived yet, so I just want to welcome you all once again. And I'll hand it over to Moses Supercharger. Give it up for Moses.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, Supercharger.
Yes, I'm called Moses Supercharger. As they prepare the slides, I'm really happy to interact with you this evening. Supercharger is a person who has been openly and positively living with HIV since 1994. I got to know that I had HIV in 1994, but I never started treatment until 1998 because of denial. I did not accept my status for 4 years. You can imagine that suffering 4 years without treatment. So in 1998, when I started treatment, the treatment did not work very well because it was a monotherapy. These days, the treatment we take is combined. 3 different powerful drugs put together to make one intervention. But in those days, we used to take only one drug. In 1998, I was put on a drug called AZT. It saved my life somehow, but it didn't work because it was a monotherapy. So it's really very important before I start my presentation to give that kind of education in Africa. We have folks who are given 3 different drugs to take, and for them they decide to take 2 and say, this yellow one, I don't like it. Every time I take it, it smells bad. Me, I only take these 2, without knowing the implication of missing that tablet. The 3 tablets are meant to be taken together in a combination. So it's really very, very, very important. The presentation I'm going to chair up is called Bridging Communities and Research, Introduction to HIV Cure Related Research. We know very well that in Africa, HIV is really a big, big problem. Globally, as you know, ever since HIV was discovered, 70 million people have been infected, and out of the 75 million people infected, 35 have died. Did you know that? Ever since HIV was discovered, 75 million people have been infected. And out of the 75 million people infected, 35 have died due to HIV-related diseases. Out of the 75, we are remaining 40 million people. As per UNAIDS, recent data says we are now 40 million people globally living with HIV now. We are living with HIV taking antiretroviral therapies every day. You know the challenges with taking antiretroviral therapies, like you see. Okay, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about why do we need an HIV cure? Why don't we just stick to our ARVs? I'll also look at the ethical challenges we are facing. I'll also try to look at the possibility of having HIV cure. And I also use the community techniques to go through why curing HIV is so difficult. And I also use the community technique to take you through the strategies, the methods that the researchers are using to find a potent and durable cure of HIV. So, what kind of cure do we need in the community? Especially the community of Africa. We need a cure that is safe, isn't it? We need a cure that is safe. We need a cure that is simple to take. Don't bring something complicated. We need something which is affordable by all nations and all people. We need something that is scalable, that can be taken to all communities. Are we together? I remember in the year 2001, I was put on the first protease inhibitor in the world. The first protease inhibitor in the world. I was put on that drug, but that drug contained fats. It contained fats. The myth and misconception in my society, Muslims did not take the drug because they were thinking that the fats made out of this drug was from pigs. You're right, you're with me. They failed to take the drug. And it was the only protease inhibitor. So they had to lose their life. So this This drug could not be taken by the Muslim community. We are saying if you are to bring an HIV cure, it must be scalable. It must be able to reach each and every community of Africa. It must be durable. And that cure must be able not only to cure you of HIV, but it must also work as a prevention. A prevention for your partners not to get the virus and you not get reinfection. So it must be a multi-purpose intervention, the cure we talk about. Are we together? Why do we need an HIV cure, fellow Africans and fellow international advocates? You know the reasons why we want a cure. In the African perspective, in my personal life, why I want a cure, I'm tired of the daily medication I take every day. I'm just tired. I'm fatigued. For the last 3 decades, I've been taking medications every day. So whenever I hear stories about HIV cure, I get excited. This is the only intervention that is going to give me the freedom I need. Because every time I'm invited to move somewhere, I need to move with my bag. Eh? The minute I forget the bag, it will be problematic. But a negative person will just move to the airport, whether without the bag or... So we need this intervention, the HIV cure, so that we get back our freedom. People have taken antiretroviral therapies for so many years. And we know some of the drugs are toxic to our internal organs. Imagine we have babies born with HIV and we expect these babies to live for 80 years. Because when you have your baby now with HIV, you don't want him to go. You want him to live and enjoy life for like 85 years. Right? Can you imagine the liver receiving toxic products every day for 80 years? 80 years? It won't. We know very well that any drug is toxic. Let it be any drug. So, the future of these children born with HIV, if we want them to live for a longer period like our grandparents, there must be a cure. There must be a solution that pauses that daily intervention, that pauses the daily medication, which is toxic to their internal organs. Are we moving together? That's good. Accessibility. Even if the antiretroviral therapy are working very well, not everybody who wants the antiretroviral therapy actually get the antiretroviral, the ART. I live in a country, Uganda, where we usually have stock out of antiretroviral therapies. Sometimes you can go to a hospital to pick your ART and you are told the drugs are not here. You come back next week. Sometimes you are told the shipment from America, which contains one of your drugs, will be here in the next 14 days. So try after 14 days to pick your medication. So accessibility to these amazing drugs is a challenge. Not everybody who wants antiretroviral therapy in Africa gets the antiretroviral therapy. Are we together? Remember, we have folks who have run out of all the treatment options. Remember, in our settings, we have 3 lines, isn't it? When you are starting your ART, you are put on first line, isn't it? When you get resistance, you are shifted to the second line. And when you get resistance to the second line, you are shifted to the third line, which consists of drugs like integrase inhibitors, very powerful drugs. Those are the only 3 lines we have. In Uganda, my country, we have 4,000 Ugandans on the third line. And remember, we don't have fourth line. 4,000 Ugandans are on the third line. And when you analyze critically, out of the 4,000 Ugandans on third line, 99% of them are children below the age of 20. So, most failures in our setting are younger people. And do you know the reason why we have them? Because their parents die and we send them to grandmothers who are not empowered about the drugs they are supposed to take. They only give them when they want. The grandmothers and the caretakers are not empowered to support these children take the medications correctly. That's why you are seeing resistance in children. So the future of these children on third line only lies in a potent and durable cure. Without it, they are all going to die. That's just an example of Uganda. I don't know what's happening in Rwanda. I don't know what's happening in Tanzania. But my country, we have 4,000 younger people on third line. So it is very important to have an HIV cure so that the lives of those innocent children is what? Is saved. Beautiful. I love you. The cost of this medication is really high. Imagine, I always give the example of my country. My country, Uganda, we need $400 million every year to buy antiretroviral therapy. $400 million. And $370 million comes from United States of... My country only contributes less than $50 million on the antiretroviral therapy. Because we don't have that kind of money. We are a poor country. Now, just imagine if one day somebody in America says enough is enough. From today onwards, no money. Because it is their money. They are just helping us. They have a right to say, instead of buying antiretroviral therapy, we are sending this money to Ukraine to continue their fight with Russia. It is there. Nobody will take them to court. Nobody. It's their money. They are giving Uganda $400 million. They are not only giving Uganda, but they are giving each and every African country that kind of money. So anything can happen. That's why we are saying, to save a situation whereby somebody will come, somebody crazy will come and say, no more PEPFAR, no more USAID. We better have a safe, potent, and durable intervention that can save us. Because we shall all die. Isn't it? Are we together? Why do we think a cure is possible? I'll try to go fast. We think the cure is possible because as of now, there are several proofs of concept. When I was testing for HIV in 1994 and being put on treatment in 1998, the health workers told me I'll be taking medication the rest of my life. Even the messages they were giving me were stigmatizing. Take the medication. This medication, you'll be taking them the rest of your life. These days in my country, I don't allow a health worker to talk to my fellow patient like that. I tell them, take the medication until the cure is discovered. As simple as that. It doesn't cost you anything. Take the medication until the cure comes. Isn't it? That's a little bit polite, isn't it? Yes, it is polite. Because we are also human beings. As people living with HIV, we are human beings. And now science has said that when we take our medications correctly, we can save others. Because U is equal. You undetectable is what? When I don't take my medication correctly, my wife is in a risky situation. And in African settings, we are allowed to have 12 or 8 of them. Isn't it? So, if I don't take the medication, all of them are in danger. So we must respect the people living with HIV. They are saving others. If you are a mother with HIV and you take your medication correctly, you'll have a negative baby. So we think the cure is possible because several people have been cured. Have you heard about that story? I need to recognize the presence of the former president of IS. My friend, Dr. Lewe, Sharon. Can you clap for her? She's a supersonic researcher in the field we are talking about, in the field of cure. She's one of those people who are trying to see that we get an HIV cure. Why is it possible? It's possible because we have seen like 7 people have been cured of HIV scientifically. 7. Can you imagine? The first one was Timothy Ray Brown. There are several others. You see all of those pictures? Hey folks, these are some of the people who have been cured of HIV. Eh? Are we together? We shall go through the method, how they were. So, because of these people, when we look at these people, we get that proof of concept that it is possible. The only problem is how it can be done safely. When I was being put on treatment in 1998, two things happened. Take medication the rest of your life. Just know there will never ever be a cure. Yeah, that's what they used to tell us. There will never ever be a cure. And curing Timothy Brown came as a surprise to everybody because it was a surprise. Nobody knew. It was one day when those doctors announced that Timothy Ray Brown had been cured, and everybody went, is it possible? So that gives me hope that one day, even tomorrow, somebody will announce that I'm a scientist in Germany. I'm announcing for the very first time that I've discovered an intervention which can save 40 million people living with HIV. Isn't that amazing? Because we have the proofs of concept. The resources have been put there. This morning, during the Precure conference, I was amazed and somehow discouraged to learn that right now they are investing $500 million every year to see that we get a cure of HIV. $500 million. And imagine 420 million come from United States of You see a problem? It's a good thing, but there is a problem. The money, even for research, is also coming from US. For treatment is coming from US. Even for research is coming from US. And yet we have governments. We have governments doing nothing in Africa. They should save some money for research. In my country, I hear stories that a minister has embezzled $40 million. Then you hear in Cameroon something has happened, and you are like, why don't they put those resources into research for important things? Isn't it? Because one day it will come and America says enough is enough. We are the one putting money in research. We are the one putting money in treatment. We are the one supporting agriculture. They even support agriculture, isn't it? They were supporting agriculture through USAID. They were supporting dam irrigation through USAID. They were supporting education through USAID. Can you imagine in my country, I even see police car, Ministry of Internal Affairs, police cars being funded by USAID. So we need a cure of HIV, because if that happens, we shall be in a problem. Investment is coming, but the problem, we need to keep praying so that America does not cut that investment. Yeah, and she's coming from America, she's supporting. Yes. Pass our thanks to the Americans that we love them. And they should never think of cutting funding at all. Nah, it's not human. Yes, quickly. Okay, those are the folks who have been cured of HIV quickly. Why is a cure so difficult in a community language? Okay, somebody will sit there. You mind this session? My bosses said they wanted to be community. Even the language has to be community. People ask themselves question, why is curing HIV so difficult? And yet you can cure malaria. You can cure what? COVID. You can cure so many diseases. But when it comes to HIV, there's a problem. What? That's a very good question. She has said, why? You know the reason? Because HIV, there are so many viruses in the world, but HIV virus is the most smart virus of all the viruses that we have. It mutates. When I say mutates, do you know what I mean? It changes tactics. It's like a chameleon. Assuming you have 5 beautiful children in your home. 5. Are we together? And you have left them in the house. You go to work. But as you are working, somebody rushes to you and says, you know what? We have seen an enemy entering your house where there are your 5 beautiful children with a gun and a pang. He's going to kill all your children. You rush to save your children. When you enter your house, remember there are 5. You all left them in the same uniform, putting on green, isn't it? Your children, you left them in a green attire. Eh? Your children. When you are leaving home, you left them at home, 5 of them putting on green. Eh? Now somebody calls you from work and say, somebody has entered in your house putting on a red jersey with a gun and a panga. He's going to kill your children. You rush to save your children. When you open the door, you are seeing 6 children all putting on green. Because it mutates. That's what they call mutating. It changes color. It changes the way it looks. It changes the way it attacks. Unlike other viruses. That's why when you send ARVs to attack it, it will detect ARV coming and it try to do that. To dodge it, because ARV is coming with an instruction. Go and attack HIV in green. Are we together? So ARVs will enter the body and then you will find it in blue. The instruction is the enemy is in what? Green. Because the minute you disobey the order, you are likely to kill something you are not supposed to kill. Are we together? You know that your children are in green. So everybody in green you think is your. But you are seeing they are 6 and yet you know they are. What do you do? So that is the challenge the researchers are facing right now. They are trying to identify using different techniques to overcome this problem of mutating. The virus mutating. Are we together? The mutations. That is the biggest reason as to why HIV cannot be cured. Because you will bring an intervention to attack it. When that intervention is put in the body, the virus will change the color and the place. But your instruction, the medication you are sending in, the instruction is HIV is in red. But ARVs will find green. Are we together? Another simple example I want to give you is that you have a beautiful cupboard with very expensive cups. Are we together? But the snake enters that cupboard. Are we together? But you don't want to break your cups. And you are seeing the snake. You have a very big stick. You want to beat the snake. Do you just beat the snakes and destroy the cups? No. You don't. That is the challenge. The virus will come and go in the liver of a person. Do you just send toxic whatever to kill everything, including HIV? No, the person will die. So they have to be a little bit careful. Are we together? Okay, quickly we are going in the panel discussion. So those are some of the reasons why the virus is so difficult to be. Now, the places where HIV hides is called the reservoirs. Quickly. You know, we take medications. And when you test me, you might not find the virus in my body. Because the ARVs can chase it away from my blood. And then the virus hides in the place called reservoirs. Are we together? So when it hides there, it hides there. And these ARVs we take every day cannot reach there. So the researchers are using different methods to cure HIV. They are saying, if ARVs can chase the virus from the blood, so that you can have a negative baby, so that you can stop transferring the virus to others, and it's hiding in the reservoirs, why don't we create an intervention that shocks the virus from where it is hiding to come back in the blood where ARVs can attack it. That's method number one they are trying to use to cure HIV. It is called shock and kill. Shock the enemy from the hiding place so that it can come back in the blood to be killed by ARVs and the broadly neutralizing antibody. Isn't it amazing? And now the challenge they have realized that actually to shock that enemy from the hiding places, you need to use a drug called latent reversing agent. So at this stage, they are trying to find out, they have discovered several of them, they are trying to test to see which one works best. So if it turns out to be successful in the future, we are likely to first take ARVs, become one